Hi everyone, welcome back to Boy in Life Space. Today we actually have a lot of guests, and we have a couple minute delay. And thank you for waiting, and thank you for being patient. So today we do have a couple guests who want to be invited. But before we jump into the space, just want to ask how you guys doing and how's the oil ones recover.
I'm doing great. I'm stoked to be here. Finally got over my cold from Lisbon. Took me about a week, but back to normal.
Nice.
And how about Hunter?
I'm good. I'm ready to go back to Lisbon. Is that an option?
I don't even think you travel at all. I think the only ETA you eat is iPack for you, right?
yeah. I mean, that was probably the biggest meal I had in one sitting. But yeah, maybe that's why I want to go back, because I want to kind of see the city and eat the. Yeah, I'm a foodie at heart, so like, I've fortunately been to Lisbon before, and I know they have good food. So like, for me, like I want to go eat at a bunch of places. But yeah, fortunately, I didn't get sick. I know, Popple, you weren't feeling well. The family wasn't feeling well, and a bunch of people weren't feeling well. So
I just pick up colds as you go. But I had some peri chicken out there. It makes up for it, man. It was amazing. That chili was something special.
I have a lot of seafood, I'm in heaven, every day I'm just like, yes, take my money. I love that.
The closest thing I had was canned tuna, which was really good, but Justin put some canned tuna on a bagel, and that's the closest I got besides the egg tart.
I still have a ton of the canned tunas in house. I do not have buy much food from Lisbon because around Massachusetts, I don't know everyone's know. There's like a big supermarket for all Portugal food, so I'm actually able to shopping whenever I want from the Portugal. So that's just amazing. So yeah, let's jump into today's space. So got we back on track. And so today we actually have 4 different guests, and today we actually focus on talk about the art, but also want to try to be focuses to share what we viewing and what's behind the scene about all this art and all this design. As usual, we do have a community news. As we mentioned about the ApeFest, and it's a lot of things that's going on. I almost feel I'm not enough time to discover this all, and I do need a tutorial. I do need someone walk me to what's going on with the whole things. If you see on the painters on the BAYC's account, you do see the 3D card as is coming, and also now having a fun social function is a focus of building on the other side, and then of course the top trading tools, and everyone is so enjoying and everyone have a fun. Unfortunately, I don't jump in yet, but I'm sure you guys have fun already. And also, I know Guido is very busy building on the crypto metaverse in other sides, and I'm so excited to see all this NBA in the city. And but of all, we do having A classes going on. I see some of the artists already share what they have been designing, and the last thing is just don't forget to check on the writing. Make sure you go to the Y website if you want to see what's going on and what's building on the A chain. Make sure go to the Y website. Baron, do you want to have something share on this part, because I feel like just so much going on, and I do need someone to walk me to discover like what's going on with the BAYC, like what's going on. The whole community, it's look like dropping a bomb. It's I thought AFAS is the most bomb, but it's just keep coming.
Yeah, no, I mean, we for months at a time, we're just every week dropping a grouping of awesome things, followed by the next week another awesome grouping of things. Like I think there's some stuff on the horizon. I don't want to speak out of place quite yet if it hasn't been announced, but like some fun things are going to be happening. Let's say on the other side, the ape car thing is happening, and that's very exciting that someone in the community is going to get the opportunity to purchase this one of one like masterpiece made by Rita. Ape Chain has been a blast. This Friday, the meet at the clubhouse will be, once again focused on Ape Chain and all the excitement of what people are building and all that. And then 3D Codas, I can't wait. Like, that's something that's going to be very exciting. Top Trader has been a blast. Everyone has been playing it that I've talked to loves the dopamine chase that you get out of it. I'm horrible at it, but doesn't mean I'm not having fun.
We need to have a live top trading, like at least one, because I do want to know how's that work. And whole things, I no idea. And it's crazy. And just see the number come and go, someone's win. And I do want to be part with that.
Well, and you've seen a few of the same people winning a few times over and over, which tells you there's a little skill to it, and it's been cool to watch the Crypto Jeweler, I believe, live stream his gameplay. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even think to zoom in that close on the margin trades and whatever it is that he's doing. So it's a skill for sure. It's fun.
I mean, does the community just pull money together and give it to him to actually do leverage trade? I mean, like, at what point is it like that? Because I just keep seeing his name hit like the top of the leaderboard. Like, doesn't that just make sense for us to leverage this now simulated thing for? I don't know. I think. Yeah, I am trying to give financial advice and trying.
Like, when does he go pro? Actually,
no. I mean, absolutely. And how can we all make money from his skills doing this, right?
We definitely have to invite him to come to our live.
Yeah, maybe we need to do that, right?
Yeah,
and then we copy pasta his simulated trades in real life.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and today we do have a bunch of artists in here, but also a true builders in here. We do want to share what they're building, but at the same time, I do want to give some power to whatever who's designed the behind for the top traders, because the posters, oh my god, I just have to use the same word, so juicy and so sexy. It's just, oh, I can't stand it, and it's like I want the PFP or the top trade. Who going to make for me? I need that. And it's like, it's so amazing. It's like how they putting the realities and AI together. And I think each poster come out just, it's my favorite. I can't stand it. It's just so good. And some of the things is also everyone have to be pay attention. It's because the season 7, the Fanny is coming. If you don't know what Fanny building and what Fanny has been, how much is the supporting community, you're too late on the game. No, I'm joking. You still have a time. And make sure to follow Fanny, because of season 7, yes, it's coming. It's everything's about building on aging. And yeah, and I want to know about anyone having experience to building on the aging, or anyone actually having a project in the aging. I know BoredIn and I know Baron was actually exactly building some projects on the aging as well. And yeah, but at the same time, if anyone building the project on the aging, there's actually have a few different platform maybe that would be helpful. We will go deep dive a little bit on the next live space, but not today. But I will be share all this innovation on the chat as well. So there's have a few different platform. Of course, it's Magic Eden. If you want to launch your own project in the Magic Eden, there have a launch pad, but you do need to apply. If you just want to, okay, easy come and go, I just everything I want to do by myself, you can go ahead with the meme pad. This is like such a great tool, and you can do your own contract, and also they have a multiple chains option. And other one, of course, everyone's jumping in right now. This is also very good tool to doing all this launch pad. But they do have a launch pad self drop coming soon, so just make sure you pay attention. Another community news update is about the other page. Congratulations, other page is once again cross everything. And if you see now in your portfolio, you can be select, or you can see it's actually there's have like a community badge. It's on your page. And if you belong some of the community, or if you want to apply the summer community, I think it's a lot of assets keep coming, and probably we will have a new updates in the next 2 weeks, and we do invite Lala to come back to our space. And you see actually BoredIn, we do have a launch our own page, and soon we will be invite more community member to join in. And you see there's have a new page of the design to show how many members you have it, and also you can see what kind of the community you can join, and definitely pay attention if you belong one of the community. And I'm sure there's a multiple community coming soon. So let's back to today's topic, and it's one thing that's very inspired because I do invite my good friend Ben is in here. I just see what he had been done, the design for the ApeFest. I was so impressed. One thing, I think this word, will I awaits us, is just had to be bring up as a title about today's topic, because I know few of you guys, you do your own design at the same time, but you also part of the design, not just about delivering the PFP, not just doing about the MFT, it's more about life and cultures, and also about the art journeys, what you want to be focused on, share for the community. So the first artist and also the yoga community, I do want to share Baron's art journey. And lately he had been dropped one of the collection 5050, and I have been watching Barons for a while. I know he have different, he have been doing different AI creatives for a while, and almost every day I will see in his content, and there's with the ape, using the AI and do some delivers art, and that's always make me pay attention. The reason why I think it's kind of like giving me an idea to think about, okay, how about if someone do having a skill for creating content, but doesn't having a skill for creating maybe like painting skill or art skill, and how's the best way they can create their own art. And I think Baron just having a best example, and I think I will pass the mic to Baron and share about his collection, and this is amazing. And he also share about a couple art pieces he been sharing. Also, congratulations, the job is amazing. I think all of you probably hold one of that, right? Baron, the mic is you. Do you want to share about your collection?
Let me start off by just quickly saying, because I do work for Yuga, that this collection was entirely just my own art. It has no affiliation with Yuga. This was just myself doing an art project on ApeChain. I've launched art projects on Wax, on ETH, now on ApeChain. It was just kind of the evolution of the process. So I did a collection called 5050, and not to say that I can't draw or paint, because I can. I just wanted to explore what kind of art mixed with tech would feel like, and put it out there and try something different that I hadn't done before. With AI, it kind of allows you to create beyond what maybe, like you said, you have skill set to accomplish. Like, I don't think I could have drawn these if maybe it would have taken me like 4 or 5 months to do one piece. You know what I mean? So instead, I drew 7 different pieces. I took them into a particular AI generator, put 7 different words in that I kind of came up with, and just kind of kept repeating it over and over, influenced by different artist styles that I like. So like the one on the right was surreal. I gave it kind of like a Dali inspiration. I kind of was trying to play with the idea of what it would be like to have water, flowers, and space as well. I have a crazy, fixation on space. So playing with the juxtaposition was really, really, really fun for me. But I've just been blown away by people's responses to it. I loved each one of them. I made it a small collection of 420 pieces. I put it out there for 10 Ape coin, and people have had fun, collecting, trading, whatever it might be. But I saw someone already print it out on a pretty large scale and frame it and put it in their house, and I was just like, wow, that's fucking cool to me. So yeah, I don't know, these flower pieces in space, I love it. They're kind of weird, because if you look at a flower, it kind of looks like a galaxy, right? So it's kind of where my mind went, was imagining those two things put together, but in the same field of view. I was really proud with how they came out. I'm really stoked about it. I'm appreciative, like I said, of everyone that's collected a piece. And in 72 hours, I think I hit like 38,000 ApeCoin volume, which was super crazy to me. And I see people buying and trading them. So that's just a fun little extra for people to have fun with. But these things are relatively large. I think they're like, if you print them out, I think they go to like 14 inches or something like that. So should be fun.
Yeah, I do love all of them. I would say, like, because you do, even they create by AI, you do can see a couple kind of like a theme, and also some of the specific color you was focus on. Like what I say, I've been kind of pay attention for what you have been create. You always just create something with the pink colors, and also with something with the galaxy, and I like the imagination you have been doing. Is that like what kind of tool for AI tools is your favorite, and actually how long to take you to finish this whole collection?
I like using Midjourney and ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT. I've been training my own bot on that for probably like 6-7 months now. So I kind of created like my little art buddy assistant, you know, and that's what I've used. It's been months and months of building this thing, and I just found like a fun reason to use it, you know, and created some very cool variants. But also, like, I got asked this by a lot of people, is there utility to this project? And I love that it's just art for the sake of art. Like, I wanted to put out an art collection. People can print it, put it up on their walls, whatever. That's it. I have found some extra ways to give back to the community. Like, I partnered with BioAutistic, so he's going to make a one-of-one with some African artisans of one of these pieces for a holder. So later this week, we'll be giving it away to one of the holders, and just keep doing little surprise and delights as I, you know, find time for. But the art itself was kind of the main focal point of the project, and I gotta say, I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, I love it. I love the color as well. So I know you're using 7 picture as a training model. Is it there have a specific theme? So I can see galaxy, I can see universe, metaverse, and I can see some of the planet. And is it there any like a topic, specific topic, a theme you have been set up?
Mostly it was focused around sunsets in space, or adding water and sand into space. Those were the 2 primary focal points of like what I would love to see that just don't exist in reality. So like sunsets from Mars, you know, what would it be like to have water in space, that kind of stuff. So it was a trippy, it was intended to be pretty fucking trippy, to be honest with you. Like, this isn't your average art. It's meant to be like, wow, I could sit down and trip out on this for a while, because most people wouldn't think to put these things together.
Exactly. But how long you have been doing the AI?
Like a year now. Like, I do a lot of AI modeling all the time. I spend a lot of my free time building different AI things. So I just wanted to train a bot to make art with me. And the next step is trying to figure out how to create a bot that'll create art on its own without me.
I think that's
amazing. It's amazing to think about, right? Like AI and kind of the capability there. I would just say like 360 and 361 are my favorite, just because those are mine. But no, I mean, look, it's amazing. I've like put in a couple prompts here and there to just like try AI out, but have not spent nearly enough time. And it's been a little bit of this like how do I jump into it more, and that kind of, you know, and this is gonna, you know, probably sounds weird, but it's almost like going to the gym, right? Like, yeah. I almost have to like force myself. And of course, Bored Dev's on here, and he like probably goes to the gym every day. But yeah. No, I mean, I think maybe that's my question would be like, you know, you've been doing it for a year, but like if you were to rewind it backward, give someone advice, like what would your advice be for someone that wants to start if they're looking at your art and like inspired by it, saying, hey, I wanna someday create something like this, you know, but with my own vision. Yeah. What would you say? Like, I mean, how would you advise them?
I've gotten these sorts of questions a long time because I've trained people on computers for a long time. And it's like, don't be afraid. You're not going to break the tools. It's all meant to be played with. So just kind of let your imagination run wild. The hardest part is as an artist, feeling like your work is worthy to show or even be sold. That's the scariest part. Like, getting over the part in your head that says this isn't worthy of other people appreciating is probably the hardest part of being an artist. Because you can sit down and create something beautiful and then in your mind trick yourself and believing it's not as cool as it might be, right? And so talking to artists on the timeline, you know, that helps a lot. Like I talked to Crypto Painter the day before I dropped my project. I was ready to scratch it. I was like, no one's gonna like this. This is all garbage. What am I thinking? I'm not, you know. And then he said, whatever will be, will be. And I thought, yeah, that's right. Like, just put it out there, see what happens. If it doesn't work, cool, try again. You know, we're not playing for an end game. I'm creating because I wanted to create something and leave something out there. And legacy is important as you get older, and this is on the blockchain forever. So, you know, like when I die, I know my art will exist somewhere in the universe, and that's kind of special. So
Love
that'd be
it.
my advice.
And I
Just
think
create. Just create.
Amazing.
I think it's the most important. It's about how to explore yourself and how to discover about the possibility about what you can create. It's non limit on the tool. I know even around me, there's have a bunch of friends. They do have like a lot of good idea on the content, and but they sometimes they was like very tight on how I could point out the image, and I think having an AI tool definitely it's a great way to start to help you to develop the content no matter what you're doing, if you're doing on project on aging or any of that. And I think AI maybe is kind of next to you want to be try it. I don't want to say jump in because as you mentioned there's take a lot of time to training on the model, and I do use AI tool as well. But as artists I do want to mention like there's always have a copyright. You should have to be a little bit extra be careful. But of course, if you're using your own model training, your own topic, and you can always sort out. You know what I mean? And I hope for everyone having fun. I think that is what exactly aging. I feel like that's kind of like a long time, and I never feel that excited. Aging just like bringing the fun journey to back to the NFT community. I feel like, right?
Oh yeah. I'll just leave you guys with this thought as I kind of wind down, and I appreciate you having me on to talk about this. This has been cool. For anyone out there, it's really not that complicated to put out your NFT project when you get you know, help like from Believer or like those other sources you named above. They made it super easy. I used Believer and it was like seamless, easy. I saw Happy Ape did it, and I you know, I saw he did so well. So I thought, okay, if it went well for them, I'll use it. I saw Bailey. A lot of these platforms are out there to make it easy for you. So just, you know, you have an idea, you might not know how to execute, reach out to those teams and they can usually help you accomplish your dream. Boom.
So
go, let's fucking go. Yeah, I love that. And yeah, as you mentioned about the top on the project, and other project I want to bring up is the Happy Ape. And you know how much I appreciate I got this book from the NBA budget on the former market, because I do have 2 kiddos, and this book was making my kiddos obsessed, and they just have so much fun to play around with the toys. But at the same time, like reading the book and learning about how to create friendships and how important to be kind. And congratulations to the book, and also congratulations for the NFT drop. And yeah, BoredIn, I would like to pass the mic to you. I remember last time we in the live space you have talk about the book behind the team and all the idea, and I think this time it's more about I want to know what is the coming next, and also special you mentioned about a lot of tech is now is building on the aging, and I do want to discover a little bit more what is the next step.
Yeah, absolutely. Baron, you know, real quick, my token frame is like down. I guess like everybody's is down. I don't know if you guys have any, but I can't even get the image up, and I really wanted to get it up because I got 2 celestial dreams of yours. Dude, they are amazing, and I really want to like see what they look like on that. So I'm a little down, but thank you, Popple. Actually, one of my favorite moments from ApeFest was when your husband was reading to your 2 kids, and I got a picture of it, and it was just like super special and really touching, to be honest. And that's exactly what I was like trying to do, is just, you know, create that type of IP that, you know, we have this like deep connection with Web3 and, you know, these like monkey JPEGs, right? But how can we connect with our kids and pass it on to them and kind of help make that connection? And I think the Happy Ape is, you know, that perfect way of doing it and bringing parents together, reading with their kids. And, you know, I have the first book out, I have the plushie. And the next step is, I mean, I do have a second book, so it's going to be another one, just for more specialized with apes, because the first book had like pudgy penguins in it, it had moonbirds, bears on the block, and a mixture. So I don't know if it'll be all, I don't want to say all apes, but the two main characters are apes. So if you guys know 0x Pretzels, I think he got tatted at ApeFest. So he's going to actually be the other ape in this second book, but it'll be about the blockchain and explaining it to kids, basically to like a 5-year-old, like what it's like traditional banking versus blockchain. And I know that may sound like, how, like, are you going to explain that story? But I think I pulled it off, and I'm excited for people to read it and see if it connects. I think Web3 natives like will be like, yeah, 100%. I know what that means. You know, anybody outside of Web3, read it and maybe it'll make sense to them, maybe it won't, but I think it'll click at some point. And that's the goal, is that, wow, like I have this book and, you know, I have the NFC chips in them where they can mint an NFT on ApeChain. So I'm like, man, if they read a book about the blockchain, they're actually like using their phone to get a collectible item, which is actually an NFT. They just read a book about the blockchain and now they're collecting an NFT, and it'll click for them at some point. And I think that's like super powerful. And that's kind of like the goal with the next book. And I'm also working with some different charities, and that's the other thing that I want to do, is give back to communities, charities, Rainbow Children's Hospital. I haven't announced some of this stuff yet, because, you know, I'm still talking to the president from Cleveland here in Ohio, where I'm at. And you know, I'm talking with David, CT Baller. He's got something that he presented me with, and I was like 100% I'm in. So more details to come, like as the year goes on, but a lot of giving back to communities and just doing good. And that's really what I want Happy Ape to do, is, you know, do good for others. And I can't wait to see those things through.
And I'm actually very curious because when I read the first book with my kids, so actually the picture you mentioned, me and my husband, is this picture, and it's also one of my favorite pictures as well. Ben actually is on the side, so by the way. So I do curious, like there's also including Purge Penguins IP. Are you also planning on your next book will be including more mutables NFT collection, or how is the story developed? Will you continue to create the characters about the Happy Ape, around the Happy Ape, or you want to be having more mutables NFT collections and PFP come in as well?
So I've always planned on Happy Ape to be a big collaboration with other communities, as we've seen with the Pudgy Penguin and Moonbirds, like I said. So I definitely want to keep that going and invite more people to use their IP, because I think that's something that we all kind of really get excited about, is, yeah, we have, you know, this IP that we could use, but not everybody can just use it, or maybe they don't know how. So to give them that ability to use it is special for a lot of people. So that's really exciting, and I want to keep doing that. And I think collaboration between communities is something that we should be doing more of. And I think people look at, and people actually want that. You know, it's not like we don't want to be fighting with other communities of who's the top community. I mean, yeah, it's healthy and it's fun, but at the same time, it's like we're all here at this doing the same things together. We're here for the same reason, and we could really lean on each other to help spread, you know, Web3 by utilizing IP between each other and working with it. So actually, I do have so I have a lot of books planned. So I actually have like 4 or 5, and they're all being worked on. And I plan to release, like, if I can achieve this, the goal would actually be like quarterly, because the following year, at the beginning of the year, my wife is working on the next one, which is, I'll just say it now. So it's going to be more of a fishing book, where there's going to be lots of little pudgies, So I promised like that, all the littles that, they would get their shot, because obviously I just had a pudgy penguin and no littles. So they're like, oh, when are you going to do littles? And I'm like, well, I want to do this fishing story. So maybe I could use the rogs and littles. And, they're like super stoked about it. So definitely lots of chances for other IP use.
I think it's definitely a smart way to let your kid involve what you have been building. I totally got you, and I totally understand the feeling, especially when I bringing my kid to the AFAS, and my kid was the first time to see what I'm building and enjoying to see how monkey, like they call ape, but as a monkey, it's like how could something as an image develop something in IRL, and also you got it. You see how happy all this little one to hoping the Happy Ape and also reading the book. And I think you just hit the right market, and there's just not much about the family products going on with the Make by as well. And I'm actually very impressed how you have been building up from the characters to plush toys and then to the book, and now even you just launched the projects on an A-chain. It's a congratulations as well. Will you like to share with us, and how about the new project and what's the next step as well?
Yeah, and actually I have so many things going on that I probably will forget like half the stuff. But something else that we're actually doing is we partnered with TinyTap. So they have the mobile game that, it's like educational content, fun content for kids. They work with Ping Fong, like, Baby Shark and Sesame Street and stuff like that. That's on their platform. And they approached me and they're like, we love the Happy Ape. We would like you to do, some games and content on there. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be amazing. So we actually just finished it up today. My wife was recording her voiceover, and you basically go through, and it's like the Kindness at the Park book. We uploaded some images, and you have to go through and click on certain things like, oh, find the yellow ball, find the Happy Ape. And then my wife is like, yay, you found it. And it's like so cute. So that's going to be a first free game that we'll actually make public. And then we'll start to create more content as we go on TinyTap. So something else to look forward to. But just for fun, man, this collection, I was talking to Jacopo, Jack, his handles at iDraw Animation. A lot of you know him from his art. He's been in the community for quite some time, working with so many different projects, and his art's always amazing. And I asked him, I'm like, hey, I was like, the base character that we have, like there was this one image that I had that I've used for my stickers that I was handing out at ApeFest and with all my product. And I was like, this is like a really good base character. I was like, what if we just did some collection that was like really unique and just had different, traits and just really cool stuff, and let's get it on ApeChain. He's like, oh, I really want to do something on ApeChain. He's like, yeah, that would be amazing. And he like literally went to work, and we just started thinking of like traits and different ideas. And the whole time I'm like, I don't know how much I want this to tie in with the Happy Ape. Cause like, I have the Happy Ape, and I want it to be very specific with that IP, and I have it trademarked, and I didn't want to do like too much where I'm like, oh, everybody can just like use the Happy Ape, but I wanted to create other characters that could possibly spin off and be created. So maybe there's like some new characters that are created, and you've seen like different versions of, there's like female traits, there's male traits. So we really just wanted to kind of make it for everybody and be kid friendly. And the other thing that I wanted to do was like have some NFTs that like kids would actually like to look at. And, you could sit down and be like, hey, this is, some NFTs. Do you like any of these? And, have your kid like maybe pick one out. I mean, they're so cheap on ApeChain. So, just for them to even collect and maybe just keep for the future, and just have something to show, or maybe even you're looking to build off of. So, which I've already had people ask, they're like, hey, can we do anything with these? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So I don't know what will come of it, but I'm kind of excited to see like if anything branches out. I mean, it's crazy how you see all these MBAs and Bored Apes and Yuga is like this main like tree, right? And you see all this like branching happening like real time, and it's like insane how much it's spreading. And yeah, I'm just really excited to see all of it happen and continue to grow. So
Yeah,
How long
love.
to?
Sorry,
Sorry,
no.
go ahead. You
I
go.
would say like love seeing the journey. I remember like the first time like I kind of like randomly pinged you and was like kind of like jumped on the phone with you, about it and learning more about it and just seeing how far it's come. I would say like and maybe you did know, right? But like definitely feels like there's things that have developed and pivoted and you're doing so much, right? Not only just your own brands, but like with IYK and some of these things that you're like unlocking for other brands and other MBA products. And I do feel this sense of like whether it was ApeFest or Ape Chain, it feels like we're peeling the curtain back a little bit to let people in on this world that's not just this JPEG and hard for people to grasp like what is this about. And like Ape Chain is like doing that and bringing other communities and artists in, right? Your wife is helping you with this project, and Happy Ape is getting the whole family involved and kids involved and engaged in that brand. I mean, it just really feels like we should just lean in further and like people like yourself and Baron, like you guys are leading the way in this effort that I think, to your point, like the tree, I thought it was like branching out a lot with like 500 MBAs or more, but like with these kind of catalysts, I just think like hard to even imagine, right? If like, even 6 months from now, like how we could see where we're at and how this all ties back.
yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of at like a point too where I'm really I'm really excited with like board trading, just put in a little plug there with what you guys are doing and helping, market and get IP out even further, right? Because my reach and my experience is very, very limited. So having that help is amazing. So it's just going to continue branching out even more. And I think we need more of that. So I'm pretty excited for that too.
Yeah, no, definitely. And look, I've backburnered a children's book for a year and a half, maybe. Something I wrote and just haven't had the time or energy. And that's also part of like seeing you deliver, seeing Dr. Dave deliver something, being like, okay, I've got to go revisit that and circle back, right? The plushies and things like that, right? Like, I think the in the Creator House, like same premise, right? Like, how many more branches can we create in hopefully inspiring or collaborating or having these conversations and working together? Like, we just need to continue to double tap on that, and I just have my full confidence in the community to kind of take the ball and run with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm pretty excited too with my wife being able, she's writing the book and she's like getting more into it now, right? Because she's writing.
At first, like, did she understand NFTs, or was it something more like, you kind of bought and like she's like, okay.
That's what you did for your wife.
What's that? I'm just trying to figure out the roadmap to convince my wife. In all honesty, right?
I mean, this has been good because like just having that understanding and like getting more into the character and where they're coming from and explaining that, like you get more of a sense of like, oh wow, like, and then when you start talking about the IP use and you're seeing like everything that's coming from it, she goes, oh wow, okay, it's not just some stupid picture you bought, like, you know what I mean? Like it's more than that, and it's starting to click, and she sees more of it, and that's really cool. And even the she has the I took a picture, we were putting our Christmas tree up already, and she had on the sweatshirt, the new merch that I got, and she loves it. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I was actually beside James Costa. I didn't even know who he was. at the bodega where we were selling. He's like standing beside me. Him and his wife were there talking, and I'm like trying to order merch online, and I couldn't get on. And I'm like, man, the site's like down or something. I'm like, they're like, she's like, you know, he like designed all the merch, right? I'm like, who? And like, it's James. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, dude, I didn't even know who you were. And he was like standing right next to me, and here, like, you know, he like designed all the merch, and we were talking about it, and I was like, it looks amazing, and my wife has loved it. So
you're like, it looks amazing. I just wish I could order it right now.
Yeah, because I was at the bodega. I was there to order, and then I had to like leave to get back over to the bodega real quick, so I didn't get to order it, and I was like afraid I was gonna miss out. So, but all good, I got it.
Yeah, I think it's a very not that easy for seeing how you get it from the design and then execute to whenever you're building, for example, even building for the MFT projects or plush toys, and I think execute is always a difficult part. And but I think you nailed it. That so the last question for you will be, if people want to follow your project, what website and where would they go to follow you?
Yeah, so website is happyape.org. Of course, I have the Happy Ape account on X that they can follow. I have some other social media too, but everything's on the website. So happyape.org, that's the official website. If you're looking to actually buy any product, happyape.shop is the official link, but you can get to it from happyape.org. The books and the plushies, if you order from, you know, online, they come with the NFC chips and everything. And the book is also on Amazon, so you can find it there. It does not come with the NFC chip, just so people are aware. But you can use Amazon and Prime to order it quickly. And if you're in another country, it's also really convenient outside of the US.
Sounds like keeps Christmas gift, right? So make sure to order. Thank you so much. Okay, and let's bring up the next guest. And it's my IL friend, Ben. And I just get so impressed how much he did, if I know him for such a while. And yeah, we've been IL fan for a while, and now I'm just seeing all his design for the ApeFest. I just got no word, and I'm impressed how much he's hiding. He's keeping just like keeping those in the behind the scene, and how much work he have been putting. And I just want to give him some flower, because a lot of things you see, and there's just so much great memory. If without all this design, and just never could be that far to make the culture, right? This is just how I feel. And welcome, Ben. And I think we should start from this picture, and I should let you to explain. Ben, did you open your mic? Hello, Ben. Did Ben just not open his mic, or?
I don't know if he's talking. Maybe he got caught up with something else.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if I can ping him.
Yeah, we should let's send him a AirPod on this.
In the meantime,
he said he's a
no.
Yeah, let's just share. I don't hear from him, so do you? Maybe we jump to mono first. As a meantime, maybe Ben can test the mic, so that would be maybe easier. Let me try to jump to monos. How many March you guys bought? Like, I'm actually buying a lot. And talk about the March. And I do think this is the one of the merch I love the most. It's about the Munoz design, because I'm actually jealous.
If anyone got those candles, I think the mutant middle finger candle is probably the coolest piece of merch we sold, to be honest. And it's super. It seems to be super rare. You can still pick it up online. I think I think so. But those are super cool. And my girlfriend brought up a good point. Like once you start to burn them, it becomes lesser and lesser, right? So it's deflationary.
I saw that. I definitely will need to check out if I can still order that.
And I just I want my camera.
Yeah, so I'm just testing to Ben. If you're able to talk, just test your mics. See if it's okay. Let's just pass to jump on the moon nose first, because it seems that we're talking about March, and I do love some of his design, but also just want to give him some flower because he was organized the tourist trip to visiting about with a channel visiting, going around the Lisbons and visiting a lot of culture space, but also enjoying the Lisbon food. And I do want to go, by the way, and I'm sorry I missed it. And how's that trip going? It just seems a lot of people and everyone having fun. I'm jealous.
Yeah, it was great. We so Chanimal reached out to me. I want to say a week or two prior to ApeFest. Once the governance working group approved his small grant for the walking tour through Board Foodie Friends, and he asked me if I wanted to be the honorary foodie friend for ApeFest. Chanimal and I had met around Hong Kong last year, and he was one of the first people I interviewed for a blog that I run for Mono called Mono's World. And he just gave some really cool insights about his experiences in Hong Kong, places to eat. And we were able to grab a bite in person out in New York City ahead of the Board Foodie Friends dim sum gathering that they did in parallel to ApeFest Hong Kong. And so that's how I connected with Chanimal. And so when he reached out to me and said that there was an opportunity to do another, more official collaboration, I jumped at it. I was very excited. Happy to be the honorary foodie friend. And we were able to curate a few selections for restaurants, a place to stop for pastel de nata, which is like the egg custard tart I'm sure everyone had plenty of there in Lisbon. And we also stopped at a ginja location, which was like a Portuguese liqueur to kind of cap off the walking tour. We met up at Solar do Bicos, which was one of the oldest, like restaurants that did this croquette de cod. It was like a codfish. It's like a bacalhau is what they call it in Portuguese. And so you can kind of see those there at the bottom right of the top right picture. We did some Portuguese take on Spanish ham or jamón serrano. And then we also had some delicious steak dishes that came out. And we were able to get some really cool swag from the BoredIn Creator House and Ape Chain. And so we had some awesome giveaways there on site. You can see Chanimal there on the bottom right photo, and then me on the far left with our apes on. And then one of our Board Foodie friends, that came to show up for the walking tour. And the whole group is there on the bottom left. And really, it was just a bunch of people that were excited to meet up, explore some of the more touristy sites there in Lisbon. And we had a lot of fun doing it. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, I do check up your website, and I also really love some of the merch you have been designing. And I think your brand is a little bit different than other fashion brand, because your brand is not just about showing cool; it's more about try to explore the cultures and also the idea about behind the brand. And will you like to share with us?
Yeah. So when I was looking at what I wanted to do with my MBA, when the MBA program first launched under, at the time, I think it was Sassy Labs, I applied instantly for the license. I had already incorporated a company in the US and was just sort of waiting for an opportunity that came up to where I could deliver something that I felt proud and passionate about, and going back to what Baron shared during his session, it was, a little bit of a fear, what if I put something out there, like how will people receive it? And then, how can I feel good enough about putting something out that, was regardless of what other people thought of it, it was something that I felt good enough that I needed to bring to light, and I wanted to put it out there and create something. And so that's where the idea for Mono came up. I saw so many amazing brands and MBAs coming out with ape branded merch using Singed, for example, with Dim. I'm still rocking the Apes Together Strong bracelet from Hong Kong. And I think that for Mono, I wanted to create the vehicle for people that are living sort of this nomad life in the crypto space, that are going to conferences, exploring the world, getting a passport for the first time, and create something within the MBA brand that is not, just Ape IP. And so I wanted to pay homage to my first Bored Ape that I got for myself, which, became my online identity as Almano with that Fez hat. And so that became, very central to the logo. Since then, we've also put out a brand new website you can see here, and really tried to hit on mono as more than just an apparel play, really an experiential play, and, highlight that at ApeFest. So in conjunction with the, walking tour, we also hosted a private dinner at a Michelin. And so that was another great thing to see you, step up and partner with Michelin and start to do some selections and curations of restaurants there on the actual ApeFest app. So being able to leverage some of those options and find one that fit, some of the price points that we were looking for to get a private dinner together, that was great. We had a really solid turnout and everyone that was there was really excited. Issued a POAP, which was the first Web3 thing I've ever done with Mono. Beyond that, we've also tried to give a little bit back to the club, and we launched what I'm calling the Ape Custom. So it's a hat that you can, only access if you have a Bored Ape or Mutant NFT, and it's token gated through token proof there on the site, which is built on Shopify. So it's all, very seamless as far as the checkout. We were able to leverage Solana Pay, so you can, get your token proof discount, get your token gated products for holding apes, and then also, check out with Solana. So it's a very sort of Web 2.5 brand in the sense that it's accessible to people that are excited about the lifestyle. But it's also something that if you are a Yuga Labs holder, you do get a little bit of extra benefits, and just being able to tap into some of those communities, like at the BoredIn Creator House, I was able to work with ladies of BAYC brunch and brought in some products that you can see there in the red bikini, which is part of our lovers collection that's now live on the site, just celebrating products that are just for women, because I felt that was something that was needed. I've always been super passionate about what the ladies of BAYC have done for the club, and sort of, elevating the idea that they're not just plus ones, and I think that that's very important in the Web3 space, elevating the voices of women and just making sure that everyone has a home sort of in the yacht club, right? And so as Mono, beyond launching the, physical apparel for women, it was very important to have that presence at a specific event that's, highlighting, the World of Women project and founders that were there, and then also just getting some products in available for the giveaways. And so it was, a really good thing for me to be a part of that at the BoredIn Creator House. And, thank you again for giving me the opportunity to come up today.
I was like, the reason why I want to go back to this page is because I love what you have been doing for females and design, because I can see like now having a lot of products made by Ape, but there's not enough products for females, and that is actually where it catch my eye. And other things I do want to mention about your character design, it's very well for with the whole logos and the colors, just very catching my eye. That's the kind of the one of the things I'm when I see it, I'm just immediately remember. And well done for the whole design.
Yeah, thank you very much. And you can see there in the center. So I couldn't get a good picture, but that is the Mono logo on a custom pair of socks. We had a limited run made here in Bolivia, where I'm based out of right now. And so they were a really, nice quality athletic sock with a lot of the padding that you want to see on running socks. And we did that in collaboration with the Bored Run Club. This was their second annual in-person run. And so it was something that I ran at in Hong Kong for ApeFest last year. And in talking with Stoned Abu, we were like, okay, now that the brand's a lot more fleshed out, let's see what we can put together. And so really in like 3 weeks before ApeFest, we figured out the branding, figured out the product, and really made it happen there for the Bored Run Club. So that was a lot of fun.
I do realize that your brand is not just focus your own building, you actually very focus on community building, because as I see on the photo, you at least already collaboration with 3 community, Boy One, ladies or BOICs and Boy Food. And what is the next project you are coming?
So right now, it's about building out a little bit more of a Web3 presence. So in relaunching the website, you'll notice that there are a few more products that are live. And one thing that I'm sort of cooking on the back burner as I find the right suppliers for the leathers that I want to use, and workshopping, what NFC providers I want to use. I'm working with Wove Labs, potentially with IYK. And we're looking at building out a digital twin experience to sort of help document your travels around the world, because the idea of exploring the world, traveling and getting out there and and really putting yourself in immersion in a new culture is central to the brand identity of Mono. So look out for a mint coming soon, hopefully on Ape Chain, with some really cool leather goods and some physical components that are NFC chipped that help bring back some more focus to the club.
Exactly. And I love the way how you also want to explore with the culture. How long you have been building Mono?
So Mono really has been in the works for the last 2 years, just making sure, you talk to a guy like James Costa, who I met back in 2021 at a meetup for the Bored Apes in Denver once upon a time around East Denver. You have these guys that are industry giants and just have phenomenal experience in, anything from the design process to workshopping with different suppliers, building out that global network. And so for the first 2 years, I really set out to find those suppliers, whether in Latvia, whether in China, whether in South America, whether in the US, and sort of figure out the who's who and who I can trust as far as the design and getting the fulfillment right. And so in that process, was also workshopping the brand identity, making sure that the logo and the color palette feels right. And so really it's been going for the past 2 years.
It's awesome. And I'm just so happy for you. So the last question for you will be like, if anyone want to buy your products and want to follow you, where to go?
So we are Mono Nomads, MONO Nomads. That's the handle on Instagram, on TikTok, on X. Mononomads.com is our website. And so you can find us there and connect on mononomads.com with any of our socials at the bottom of the page.
Thank you. And any question from Hodder?
Yeah, no, I mean, maybe not so much a question, but love to see the collabs, and I think definitely want to talk further about Board Trading Co. I think we've seen it across a couple different, like with Board Dev too, right? Like in my mind, it develops this kind of like storyline of you have the IP, you have the technology, you have the product, and then underlying that you have kind of the community. And for me, like that storyline together is then what's interesting, right? And showcasing that across the different brands and products is what we want to capture, and that has to do with the curation of all these different things. So just looking forward to like diving in further, just like with Board Dev, on like how do we do that, and continue to build together.
100%. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think one of the best thing is just Board Trading Co. I think it just giving a lot of opportunity to having fun to build together, and I'm just very excited to see any of you and if you wanted to build something together. And I think Board Trading Co definitely the right way to go. And
some news there too is we got our first funding today, like literally today. So we've obviously been working hard already. Like there's a job description that we've made, and we've put it out there, for social media kind of manager to help with promotions in social media. So I mean, start to tap in if you haven't already, but like we want to kind of push forward in a big way now that we have the funding.
wish you all the best, and as a sisters, and I want to see which. And let's bring back to Ben, and thank you so much, Mono.
Can you hear me?
Ben, can you hear me? So
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh wait, I'm getting 2 thumbs up. That's at least okay. All right. I'm up against it today, everybody. We're coming from a doctor's appointment. We're going to daycare pickup. We're at 10% on the phone. Bad connection issues, but we're gonna do this.
Okay.
We got this.
Great.
It's good. It's good to see everyone. Elmona, it's good to meet you, hear from you. Everyone else, good to see you. Baron, congratulations on your drop. Board Dev, Baron, I think we lost him, but still, Board Dev, we read Happy Ape every single night at home since Lisbon. My daughter asks for Happy Ape by name, both the book and the stuffy. She's mad into it. So very good to join the stage with you guys. but I'm going to go quick because I don't want to get rugged again. So I guess we're here to talk about ApeFest.
Yes. And I think we start from this picture because about the whole
no,
meaning.
for sure. I had this at the end of the deck, and then you texted me. You're like, I think I'm going to put it at the beginning, and I like it. All right. So I was brought on with Yuga maybe about 8 months ago now, and this was when Garga kind of took back the helm. Roger that. Okay. This is when. Can you grab that? Yeah. This is when Garga came back on board and was really tapping into the community, which was huge. And sorry, the place I went into for Wi-Fi is closing up and kicked me out on top of everything. So this is when Garga was tapping in. So Jeff and Garga and Dave and everyone kind of reached out to me, which was super cool. Oh my God. Oh wait. Okay. And so that was huge. Just being day one, kind of designing every day for the club. It was super cool to know that it didn't go on deaf ears or lost eyes, and that it was seen and was brought in to kind of work on this. And so when I joined, the vibe was very laid back and kind of pastel colors, and we're just gonna kind of vibe out and relax in Lisbon. And then early on, Garga and even Gordon gave this note to kind of make it a little more punk rock, a little more darker. And Garga gave this note to watch or check out The Holy Mountain, this kind of surrealist art movie by Joe Dworsky. And I think it's the last line of the movie. It says real life awaits us. And when I watched this, it just kind of hit me like that is exactly what ApeFest is real life awaiting us every year to kind of get off the timeline. So that scene and that line really went pretty far. It kind of got us tracking better than this. We were just going to kind of vibe out with Curtis on the beach in this fishing community. And then it kind of got this more esoteric, darker vibe. That the ApeFest logo, I mean, incredible designers. Chadwick made the skull and the ApeFest logo here with the cobblestone, really tapping into Lisbon, which was super cool and a huge benchmark early on because we explored so many different directions. And when we saw that, it really was kind of in tandem with Garga and Gordon setting on this kind of darker, more culty, esoteric vibe, which, the cult vibe absolutely played in ultimately. So yeah, Real Life Awaits Us was kind of like a huge benchmark that started us out. And trying to capture both the old world of Lisbon and some punk rock aspects and some culty aspects. And, there was a lot swirling. And so here you're kind of seeing a peek into some of the typography, color choices, iconography, out of home, just some of the brand elements we tapped into early on that led the way. And, the further we went, the more fun we had with it. When we started talking about tarot cards, I'd sketched up the famous tarot card of the joke. I'm sorry, is it the Joker or the Fool? I'm sorry, the Fool. And we turned it into the D-Gen, and then that kind of got handed off to an incredible artist that has done a lot of work with the Yacht Club. Chomps, he's done a lot of posters that we probably own and hang. Yeah, exactly, right here. So all of the final back work, the artwork of the cards when at the Gary Speaks, which was of course inspired by the Zoltar Speaks, which is a really cool activation by Gen City Labs. This tarot card of the D-Gen kind of helped us spark this esoteric, more culty vibe, and Judgment. That was another one that kind of maybe was left on the cutting room floor a little bit, but you can see the evolution of, and this is another perfect example of taking an idea and passing it off to the next guy or next person. Sardines was obviously a very big part of the culture over there. So I saw this can with a green jacket, and it just struck me as Gordo. And then I did a quick sketch of it, and then we again handed off to Chomps, and he does the Chomps thing with it. Like he did the New York posters, I believe. He did the Sardine poster this year. So it was really cool how collaborative it was to work with with everybody there.
I love this. I love the satin design. Just like it's very hit me because I do see the wheel when I see the package. I'm actually found the wheel can. I have a one moment I feel like this is like a perfect match. How I'm pushing, you changing the colors, but at the same time you putting the whole the 8 characters. It's just like very much, and I'm so pushy on the design.
Yeah, there was so much room for attention to detail by, kind of co-opting. There was kind of three things. It was the yacht club itself, it was Lisbon, and then it was this cult vibe that we threw in there. So when we had all these avenues to kind of intertwine together. So yeah, I'm sure these were a lot of graphics. These were really fun to make. These helped set the tone for a lot of what happened, including the merchandise, working with James and Corey and the merch team. You can see in the upper left there, I kind of started using the super plastic a little bit as my model, and then the 3D models were dropped kind of in the middle of all of this. So I was able to tap into that and get some really cool perspectives with the sitting and running and the Vitruvian Man, and really make sure it was lore accurate, if you will.
I do love the one of the design you did, and actually it's the same the t-shirts, the 3Ds one, the three dimension ones, and actually the same design on my t-shirts, and I do love the style about the label because it just hard to mention, because when you're in Lisbon, you feel the cultures, you feel everything, just so much makes sense to when you see the design. And for me, when I see this design and I got it, and I kind of like feel like, okay, and that is the culture where it's come from, and I think you just nailed it. And I super love how the execute, how the delivers from the AFAS HQ, because I remember I was standing on the windows and I seeing all this shadow of the ape, the effect of the ape, and I think they just do massive work in there, and I feel like, okay, and that's like so many study cases.
Yeah, it was super cool to see it all come to life, because this was kind of just a kit I had made early on. And I come from, in Rhode Island, and I do design, and so like if I see one of my designs in a small state on a billboard, I get all excited, and next thing I know, I go halfway across the road to Lisbon, and I see a bunch of my designs on everyone's shirts, and it was super trippy. And there was, I was with Rust, who's the art director over at Yuga. Absolutely, look him up. I'll make sure we tag him afterwards. Incredible designer. He's been responsible for so many great things, design wise with the club. But we were walking through the BMW experience at Convento, and like I would turn a corner and see some stuff we had done, and get actual goosebumps on my arm. So it was very, very cool. And I'm used to the occasional billboard, to go from that to Lisbon and see some of this stuff was super cool.
So for what design you done, it's your, like, the execute is your most favorite, like what make you most excited when you see on the AL?
Sorry, say that again. I might have lost you a bit.
And I say, like, so far, so you see your designs are coming to the IRL, they're coming to real life, and what make you think your most favorite?
It's got to be the merch. I mean, to see people wearing, ultimately it was up to the incredible merch team that put the final designs together, but to give them some of the tools to do it was super cool, and to see my designs on apes was pretty cool.
You not just do for A, and you also do for the BMW too. And would you like to explain a little bit how's your design and what's your design for the BMW?
I did. That's right. We were part of the BMW to be invited to be part of, the legacy and history of artists that have been invited to put their work on a BMW. Just to be invited is crazy, but while I may not have won, and Rita put together an incredible car, shout out Rita. I may have not have won, but some of my low key designs ended up on a few BMWs, so I can go home with that at least.
Yeah, it's so cool.
The experience cars there.
Yeah, it's so cool to see the experience car, and I think that's actually
yeah.
I love it. Like, the colors is amazing.
Yeah, maybe they end up in Dookie Dash. We'll see.
That may be. And so this is the last picture you can see is the house.
I don't want to chew up too much time here, and I know I have a limited connection, but so yeah, it was just, this is kind of like, the all of the things I had worked on or touched, to see literally IRL, real life awaiting me, right here was super cool, between the merch and the BMW cars, and little touches like the bar at the full moon party, or to get that initial tarot card that sparked some cool designs from the other incredible artists, involved in all of this on that blue wall was super, super cool. And then watching at the end of the night around 1 a.m., people scale the walls to take that art off and bring it home with them was a lot of fun.
I do have to say, like, I've heard multiple times, just like Deb said, like, I think the merch this year, I think the logo's cool, but at the same time, like, and maybe this is just because I'm a boomer now, like it's not necessarily something I'd wear all the time, because like I don't know,
right, totally.
I want to, a skull, right?
Totally.
Here and there.
I have a lot of black hoodies and black t-shirts with the skull, and it's nice to be able to wear something to, brunch with the family, or swim class for your daughter, and it's Bored Ape and not so. I think the goal is, it's not, I mean, it's on the nose if but it's, it doesn't feel like the Web3 merch maybe that we've seen up until now. It feels a little more evergreen, a little more everyday. And I think I think that was a goal early on. I think it came through, hopefully.
No, I definitely think it did, and just hats off to you and James and everyone involved, right? I think it's no small feat to accomplish that goal, and really have, like, what I've heard many people say, that being kind of the case. So great job. It's amazing.
Yeah, thank you, and also shout out, you NFT Hoarder and Popple, for all of the incredible work. I heard you got sick as a dog when you got home.
Yeah.
Popple and her whole family.
We were working out there, and how many people you interacted with. But you guys kept the before, after, and side hours going with that house over there. That was super cool. And hopefully going forward that kind of becomes the standard, because that was really nice.
No, appreciate that, and definitely inspirational to see kind of like all the touches that you guys did. Not even a comparison, but like definitely like a point of inspiration as we think about what and how we want to kind of bring the Creator House forward. And I actually got the DJ card in the tarot reading. So
hell yeah.
So yeah.
Good. I know there were so many good ones. I wanted to keep getting back in line. I only ended up with 2, but maybe they release the artwork to us someday.
Yeah, I think that's just like the experience is the best. Not just being there, and also see how them to put all this IP delivered to be a culture. I think that's just the best part. And this is actually two pictures in my phone, but I think that's just very about the best memory I have in that night, the full moon party. Just have so much fun. I just want to hang out with you guys in the rivers. Yay.
No, it was a blast. And there was
toilet for half hour, right? If I remember.
There was it was a creative powerhouse. Getting a peek behind the curtain at Yuga Labs and working on this was a blast. There's definitely very talented and trustworthy people at the helm steering the ship. So it was cool to be a part of that for a bit and work on something so cool.
Exactly. And my last question will be like, okay, if people want to follow your work, where to best way to find you?
Right now, really probably just on X, Twitter. But going to that Ape Marvilla and seeing all the MBAs was very inspirational. I've been sitting on my ape since day one, since mint, and I've done nothing with it. So I have a plan. I've secured domains. There's a loose plan in place. An MBA is coming. But if you follow me on X or Twitter or whatever, that'll be good enough, and you'll see everything.
Yeah, make sure to follow Ben. And I don't even know how many times I mentioned to Hodder, I love Ben design and I love Ben design. And that I put the word in there. Like,
Oh, come on.
Ben,
I love you guys.
You need to collaboration with me, okay? Yeah.
I love it. I feel
So,
like I lived.
yeah,
I was at the BoredIn Creator House more than I was at my hotel room, I think.
Yeah, so was I.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you for sure were. I don't even know. I don't know why you got a hotel, dude.
I don't know.
I don't even
mean,
know why you got
I
a
don't
hotel.
know. Yeah,
I saw bunk beds in there.
Yeah, I should have just leveraged that, but yeah, no, I would say to Papo's statement too, like, you know, Papo being a creator, like she is super critical. Like her eye for things, you know, yeah, you know, she's calling it out because lots of time I miss it, right? But like I've rarely heard her say that so much. So yeah, I think not to overlook that again. Like she definitely has said that many times to me. Like just how much she loves your design.
Oh, great! Finally, have someone approve me. So,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I just
Thank
want
you,
to go.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I just want to catch up like maybe like 10 minutes to go share my design to you guys too, because it seems everyone's in here. I'm more than happy to share. But Ben, we definitely have to do the second part again, find out the time and try to deep dive a little bit more.
I'll be more organized next time, I promise.
No worry. Same as me. Like today, I was like, okay, when I deep dive in your question, I deep dive in all this design, what you have it, and I feel like we need to do.
Thank you again for having me. I appreciate it.
Enough. Yeah, that was never enough. So I don't want to take everyone's too much time. I just want to share about a couple behind scene why have a BoredIn Creator House and some of the theme why it happened is because by doing the research at ApeFest, if you know, you know, and I was also doing a little bit like just like a tourist things and research and I kind of share on the post and say what's the best on the Lisbons, what we can do, and then I realized that actually Lisbons is a home of a pirate, and this is actually bringing me a lot of idea and just think about what I should match with the topic and the history as well. As you know, Lisbon's a lot of history as well. So I started to do the sketch. That's what I got. I got the sardine fish. I got the bowl. Of course, pirate had the bowl, right? And then of course, I get the sardine fish can. And then I got other fish. And then I got a little bit further. I went into a little bit of pirate topic, but Hodder tell me, no, you can't go too dark. And then I stopped in there and I started to go deep a little bit to the pattern to try to using all the brand like Fanny A-Chains or all this NBA brand we collaboration with, and we start to do the Lisbons tell the patterns and this is how you see the color palettes and later on and how you see all the drawing to become execute to the poster, light box, stickers, and everywhere else in the house, and even outside the big balloons and everything. So if you been to that house, you probably see the image everywhere. That's just actually the sketch. I was on my way from Rhode Island to Boston. I don't even remember what I do that day, but I have an idea because no one see this place before we got into the space. So I just do the sketch how we should measure about the space, how we should think about the space. And I'm not gonna get any response from Hodder by the time, because I'm sure Hodder don't even understand and don't know what I'm drawing. It's too messy in the sketch, but you can see how the design come out. And something you remember, if you get into the BoredIn Creator House, there have a different area. So that's just how I separate on the different theme and different colors. We have a little bit of separate theme. It's not full, but I'm glad we do that. And also you can see how I should execute some of the idea from the starting fish can and to the poster and to some of the pillow design. But definitely want to be dive a little bit more in the next time because it's just so much going on. And then also with the pirate as well. But yeah, we stop in here because I still want to do the series too, and also just want to treasure everyone's time and want to say thank you for everyone to letting me share. Yeah, I think today that's it, and this is how is it today our space. I could love to see what is the next for the BoredIn Creator House, because if we do have some plan, maybe we will show up in the APA shows, right, Hodder?
I mean, we're working hard to make it happen, right? So yeah. So we're trying. So no definitive promises, but yeah, it's calendars filling up, lots of conversations happening. We've got a deck. If people are planning to go, let us know and let's figure it out. You know, we want to obviously like bring forward the momentum and vision of the Creator House from Lisbon in the same type of maybe smaller capacity. But yeah, you know, we're trying to show up for the community again. So yeah, fingers crossed.
So I'll be in middle school. So, and yeah, and thank you so much for everyone's coming. As I mentioned, we probably will be having more series coming to try to focus on art and also focus on the builder themselves and what they're building on the products and what they're building on the IP, but not just that, and want to see what's the opportunity for the community so we can build it together and having fun. I think BoredIn Creator House is about the love and about the community and about the sample, what we dream could like the best place for hangout if that's it's about something we want to build in the sustainable future. I think BoredIn Creator House is definitely one of the example we want to build. Yeah. Thank you so much for everyone's coming. Any final stuff for Mono?
Judge, thanks again for having me. Really excited and bullish on all things BoredIn, Bored IP, Bored Trading. Looking forward to the next things that are coming.
Thank you. Any final stuff for Boydad? I don't know Boydad's still here or not, because I do mention probably have to bounce. So, well, he may still in the other call. So make sure follow him whenever he's doing, because he do mention his next book's coming, so everyone get excited. So any final stuff for Hodder?
Well, he mentioned that like 4 more books, right? So at some point, I expect a like book set that we'll have at Bored Trading Co. So I'm just, you know, since he can't respond, he's not going to say no. So I'm committing him to this now. But yeah, I mean, look, let's keep the momentum going, right? Just like so much cool stuff has happened. ApeFest was just a movie, and you know, Almano's building, Baron has a collection, Bored Dev's got a game, books, etc. Right? And like, you know, new NBA that's coming, right? You know, I think like this is what's so powerful about the community of builders. And just reach out. I think it's always, we've heard it a couple times, like you always feel a little vulnerable putting something out in the world, and that's also why there's a community, right? It's not just to bring your small skill set or what you do well to the community, but it's also so the community can be there to help you and support you and walk you through it. Because I think, you know, as builders that care about this community and what we put out there, like it can be super nerve-wracking, right? So you know, I think that's also what the community is about too.
Exactly. So I'm hopefully see everyone very soon, and stay tuned and see you next week. And thank you. Bye.